I guess you could say I've always had a thing for exploring weird, off-limits places. You know, old hospitals, abandoned factories, storm drains. The creepier, the better. My younger brother Jamie was usually game to tag along, though he wasn't as fearless as he liked to pretend. That's how we ended up hearing about the garage. It was on the edge of the city, near an old industrial park that had been slowly rotting away since before we were born. The story went that back in the early 90s, this massive underground parking structure had been built there, meant to serve a mall that never quite materialized. Just as construction finished, a freak earthquake hit. Nothing like we usually get around here. And part of the garage collapsed. No one ever officially reopened it after that. It was bricked off, left to decay under the ground. Some said the city quietly kept it sealed for safety reasons. Others whispered there were stranger reasons. Things seen in the dark after the quake, shapes moving in security footage, odd noises. The kind of rumors that always drew me in. One night, with summer winding down and the itch for adventure creeping in, I convinced Jamie to check it out. "Calm," I told him. "How often do you get to explore an abandoned underground parking garage?" We packed the essentials. Flashlights, camera, crowbar, some rope, then piled into my beat-up little Honda and headed out around 10:30 p.m. It took about 40 minutes to reach the industrial park. The road was cracked and half overgrown with weeds. The entrance to the garage was exactly how I'd heard. Chained off, bricked up in places, with faded warning signs about structural instability and no trespassing. Perfect. It didn't take long for us to find a weak section in the barrier. A few good hits with the crowbar, and we cleared enough space for the car. The opening yawned before us. Pitch black, cool air wafting out from the depths below. Jamie hesitated. "You sure about this?" "Too late now," I grinned, heart racing. "We're already in." I eased the car down the ramp. The headlights cut through dust and shadows, revealing rows of empty parking spaces, old signs pointing toward exits long sealed. The place smelled of damp concrete and earth. The slope kept descending. After the second level, the concrete walls started to show big cracks, reminders of the quake. When the path got too narrow for comfort, I parked near what must have been level 3. We grabbed our gear and stepped out into the oppressive dark. Flashlights slicing through the gloom. For a while, it was amazing. The eerie silence, the forgotten structure stretching off into darkness. It felt like stepping into a lost world. We explored for maybe half an hour, finding old elevator shafts, rusted-out ticket machines, even a warped shopping cart stuck in a crumbling stairwell. That's when the first flicker hit. My flashlight sputtered once, then again. Jamie's did too. I frowned, smacking the handle. Batteries are new. That's when we heard it. A low, scraping sound, somewhere deeper in the garage. Not like rats. Bigger, heavier. We froze. Then the sound came again, followed by something like a wet, guttural growl. My gut twisted. We need to go, now. We spun and hurried back toward the car, our lights flickering worse with every step. The temperature seemed to plummet. Our breath puffed white in the beams of the flashlights. That's when the smell hit. A reeking stench of sulfur and rot, so thick I gagged. From behind us, the scraping grew louder, faster. We broke into a run. When we reached the car, I yanked the door open and fumbled with the keys. In the edge of the headlights, something huge moved in the shadows. A hulking shape with massive arms pulling at rubble, something wrong with horns or spines rising from its hunched back. two burning eyes fixed on us. Jamie screamed, "Go!" I slammed the car into reverse. Tires squealed as we shot backward up the ramp, the thing lunging after us, claws raking the concrete, debris crashing behind us. I swear, for a second, it almost cleared the rubble, almost reached the car. We tore out of there, adrenaline drowning us, hearts pounding so loud I couldn't think. When we finally made it home, parked in the driveway, neither of us spoke for a long time. Eventually, Jamie said what we were both thinking. We imagined it, right? Yeah, I lied. Just our heads, messing with us. We tried to leave it there. We wanted to leave it there. But 2 nights later, our 4-year-old sister Abby walked into my room in her pajamas and whispered, "The man in the basement wants me to play." My stomach dropped. "What man?" She smiled innocently. "My new friend. He talks to me through the vents." I looked at Jamie. His face had gone pale. From then on, the weird stuff started ramping up. Whispering in the house when no one was awake. Cold drafts blowing up through the floor vents. Lights flickering, no matter how many times Dad checked the wiring. Worst of all was Abby. She started having nightmares, waking up screaming about a big man with horns like a monster who wanted her to come downstairs. That's when I knew we hadn't left whatever that thing was down there. We'd brought something back with us. Or worse, it had followed us. We couldn't tell our parents, not without sounding crazy. We barely understood it ourselves. But one thing was clear, it wasn't going to stop on its own. We had to go back. Somehow, we had to find a way to seal that thing down there, for good. So here I am now, writing this on my phone as Jamie packs the gear. More flashlights. Salt. Rope. Maybe gasoline. Whatever we can think of. It's almost midnight. We leave in 10 minutes. If you find this post and never hear from us again, stay away from the old garage at the edge of the city. There are things below level 0 that were never meant to be disturbed. And if you do disturb them, they'll find you